crazy. Have faith. Have faith. Have faith. This stuff is real, man. How good does it feel to be protected by God, man? To know we have a powerful God and He is up in the heavens controlling space and time, controlling the dimensions, man. How good of a feeling that anybody that tries to form something against you, he can go forward in time and backwards in time, reverse time, space. We only see that much of light. And if I know there's a God, I know there is my God, my Lord, my Father. I know there's a Jesus Christ, a Yeshua. I know that his son walked in human flesh. But this is for you skeptics. If there is a God, you only see this much. You want to talk about spectrums, right? How about this one? You only see that much on the light spectrum. In the beginning, there was light. You only see this much of light spectrum. In the Bible, I'm putting you on game. The Bible, it says we cannot see. We may feel like you can't see wind, but you can feel it. I can feel the AC blowing on me that I need. But I can feel the wind, right? The atoms. You can feel the wind. So if you can only see that much, and there's this, I don't have this much. Pretend this is the end of the screen. This much wavelength, and you're only seeing that much. Think about the stuff you're not seeing, that you can't see. And if people are telling you that this stuff is real, countless of people all over the world miraculously being healed and brought back to life, and when people get together and pray, and churches not being burnt down across the world and not being disrupted by natural disaster, you're trying to tell me that it just miraculously happens? That it's unexplainable? Or how this Bible and the words in this Bible withstood anything that has been created by man? Anything. Technology. We have the most advanced technology, but as soon as it gets wet, it's done. You can't bring it back to life. As soon as it get caught on fire, it's done. It can't be brought back to life. But for some reason, this Bible, these words have been written 4,000 years ago. and withstood time. The belief. Do you know culture? Do you know how hard it is for, we're going to say culture, for the cardinal thinker, the non-believer? Culture is, you know how hard it is for it to stick around for that long before it get construed and twisted and mangled? This Bible withstood the test of time, and the people who believed in it. You don't think that's a miracle? You say you don't believe. You say you don't believe in God. You don't believe there's a God. But look around you. You're trying to tell me that the plants and the trees and the life on this earth, do you know how barren these planets are out here? Planets? Do you know how barren? Lifeless. And you mean to tell me you were born here, and not only you as an individual, as a species, but there's thousands and thousands of species you're cohabitating with. And how do you think that got here? Science don't. I'm a nerd for science. Science doesn't make sense until you. Science doesn't make sense. On paper, it makes sense because it fooled me. But science makes sense until you put it against science. I'm gonna say it again. Science makes sense until you put it against science. It don't make no sense trying to tell me that all these creatures evolved, man. That this creature stayed this way for millions of years. That creature only evolved 1,000,000 years. And these two creatures evolved only 200,000 years, and they've been living for 200. What? This don't make no sense. And you mean to tell me that us humans, we've only been here? We've only been here for like a couple 100,000 years or so? What? It don't make sense when you question it, but this makes sense. It's true. Science is only an observation of what we see. It's a test. That's all it is. It's an observation of God's creation. That's all it is. We will never know. I'm going to tell you. We will never know. We could never break down what happened since the beginning of time. We can theorize, we can hypothesize, but at the end of the day, we'll never know, because only the Creator knows. Just like how we know how to build chips, how to build smartphones, how to build airplanes. Now, if you were to take this technology, go back in time 100,000 years ago, or whenever we, let's say Adam and Eve, right? Drop this off in front of Adam and Eve. They will be like, what the heck is that? They will go all their life. They might figure out what a battery is. That there's this piece of this phone, if you take it out, it turns off. You put it back in, press that button, it turns on. But they will never know how it works. Never. So if you have this Creator who gives us this planet, place of home, the place we call home, we will spend our whole life, generations upon generations upon generations, trying to figure out, how was this world created? How were these animals created? How were these cells first? How did the first cell become? How did DNA start? Nobody knows. We have theories, but we don't know. How did DNA start? How did RNA start? How did these cells know? How did the cells know to come together? You're talking about intelligence on a cellular level? How did the cells know to come together? These atoms, right? Break it down further. How do atoms know to come together? And know to separate and not to smash into each other. And if you go deeper into atoms, how do you know? How does this matter collect together and make this atom? How does it know to collect together? And if you were to go down deeper, quarks, how does these quarks work? How? We will never know. Bring it back. We will never know. Never. Because we're not the Creator. We don't have the blueprint. We're not the creator of this world. We don't have the blueprint. He has the blueprint. The blueprint. He got it. And if you know somebody who has the ability to create something out of nothing, that's a dangerous man. I wouldn't mess with him. That's a dangerous man. Think about it. Let's go back into the atoms again. The atoms, cellular level. You got this Creator somehow putting a code into life itself and telling the code, the life, the biological code to behave in a certain way to communicate on a intelligent on a cellular level. Go in deeper. Atoms. You put this code on atoms. Vibrational code. Protons, neutrons. To link together based on the code that this creator came up with. Further, quartz. Matter. What the heck? What the heck, dude? Our understanding can only go so far. It can only go so far. And honestly, you got this creator who will put these codes on matter itself. Matter itself. That way my finger can't phase through this steering wheel. Or how I can pick up this Bible and drop it and it not go through the earth. And it's dropping. Gravity. Right? We're going to say gravity. That's what humans call it. We don't know this stuff. We're only an observer, man. And those of you non-believers, you guys really think that there's no God? And you say you're smart and you're into science and you're into physics. But if you were into computer code, just like how there's a combination of ones and zeros of light on and off. Where do you think they got that from? It's a code. It's an artificial life code. On and off. Zeros and ones and zeros and ones. That's what we are. So if we're like a biological code, a life code, who created us? Who created this planet? You can't say it was the Big Bang, because according to science, the Big Bang was nothingness exploded. What? This is what I'm talking about. You got these smart, intelligent people speaking about science until science makes sense, until science questions itself. How do you have nothingness explode? There's nothing in my hand. And apparently it was that small or something like that. How do you have nothingness explode into something? That don't make sense. We build nukes, nuclear weapons out of something. The atom, the atomic bomb, out of atoms, something. Then it exploded. Something interacted with something and created this whole place.